Thank God.
Um, let's talk about Eternals.
Oh,
Camille
okay,
Non-Johnny can go shut
absolutely
the
getting
fuck up.
worse.
That dumbass.
Eternals has a 60% tomato meter right now, which, from what I understand, it was much lower earlier.
It was at Rotten, which is 59% or lower, and they suddenly mysteriously jumped to 60 all of a sudden.
I think it has to be 50% or lower.
No, 59.
Is it?
That's what they were saying. At least it was at 59, and it jumped to 60 real quick after it hit 59.
Well, the reason I say that is just because I was looking at the
You were looking at the top critics.
The top critics, and it's at 55, and it wasn't showing that the top critics was rotten. This stupid. All right,
Our technical guy, everybody.
Yeah, so top critics is still showing a regular tomato and not a rotten tomato.
That makes me wonder.
So I think you have to be. I was thinking before you had to be below 50 or below to be rotten.
I'll check. Go ahead. You got me curious.
I don't know. Well, here's 57%, and that's rotten. So that's weird.
So shenanigans. Like, what are you trying to imply that there may be shenanigans on Rotten Tomatoes?
I mean, let's shenanigans on Rotten Tomatoes is sort of a constant, isn't it? Like, I mean, we keep let's see this Antlers. Top
That is.
Well, see, it doesn't change for Rotten for them either, so
it goes probably by the all critics and does. Well, like I said, they found a way, dude. They miscalculate and bullcrap their stuff so much. Rotten Tomatoes is just purchase. Yeah, because it's got to be at least 60% to show as not rotten. But note, like you said, if you switch it over, it's not switching because this is Marvel and it's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
And Disney owns Rotten Tomatoes.
Anyway, of course, this movie's not been out yet. It's not out yet, but critics have gotten to see it, and critics are slamming it pretty hard.
Even the ones that keep giving it a fresh, which is weird. You go read a fresh review, and they're like, "This movie doesn't work."
Yeah, I will say that's the oddest thing, and it's almost
like, who's my favorite? Where's she at?
It's almost conspiratorial.
Caitlin Booth, you need to go check out her Bleeding Cool review. She literally says this movie
doesn't
work.
She says, quote, "It does not work."
And she says you're right to not like it.
But yeah, she gave it a 7 out of 10.
For no reason. She says more of it doesn't work than works. That to me is a 5 or lower.
Yeah.
But like, she's also Bleeding Cool. So, but there's a gay kiss. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, so
it's still a big deal. That's pretty common now in shows. Like, why do they still act like that's the first time that happens every time they see it? They make it seem like it's weird by acting like it's weird when it's not. It's like we're 2021.
Yeah, so
man.
To go back to Q's point, there's a movie called Boy Meets Boy. It's at 57% with a rotten icon. So yes, it is less than 60.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier.
I'm
sorry,
it's not
I was
Marvel.
looking at Halloween Kills, and I was shocked that Halloween Kills has a critic score of 39% rotten, but an audience score of 67%, with 238 views of the critics versus over 2,500 from the audience, which means it's probably a pretty good horror movie.
Oh, dude, it is rare that the critics and the audience match. Like, I mean, you can click through Rotten Tomatoes all day, and it will take you a while to find a movie where both of those are close.
Well, that's because of the critics Rotten Tomatoes uses. If they were actually using a diverse group of critics, i.e. critics from all backgrounds and of different opinions, then it wouldn't be so much a problem. But Rotten Tomatoes almost exclusively uses left-wing critics. Like, I'm sorry, but they really lean that way. They tend to lean toward woke critics. Huh?
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that. It's interesting some of the way that some of that far left politics, politically correct, checking all the boxes, is just spilling over into everything, and it's getting frustrating because once upon a time, it used to be, a good film would actually have a good story, good acting, production, that kind of directing. And now it's, did you check the boxes? They missed a box, and we're going to rotten it. Versus, they check all these boxes. The story's trash. The film sucks, but we're going to give it like 100% rating.
I don't know. I don't know if the score is as much Rotten Tomatoes' fault as just critics in general. I mean, if you look at reviewers in general, they tend to be.
Yeah, and I don't blame Rotten Tomatoes. I blame the critics, the way Q was discussing a second ago. Yeah. I think again, if you don't meet their criteria, their rubric of having a perfect film, then they're going to review bomb you. And in turn, if they check all the boxes and say this is a great film and it's in the 90s and the audience says it sucks, we're getting review bombed because of people that don't like it for whatever reason, but it's actually a great movie. It's ridiculous. I miss the days like Alan Foster was talking in an interview with us earlier in the year, is just make a good story, have a good film, have an original idea that's interesting for us to be able to empathize with, have an invested interest in the hero or in the conflict. Do something new. Don't just keep hashing the same old things, the same check boxes, and then expecting people to want to go see your bullshit. Because right now, there's not a movie I'm interested in watching. Mm-hmm. I might eventually watch Dune, but based on what I've heard from people that actually are into the Dune mythos and know the movie, the first one inside and out, and the books, he said it sucked. He wouldn't recommend it. So again, now I'm kind of off the table. I didn't see Shang-Chi. I'm not going to watch the Marvels because the Marvels. I'm not watching that shit either.
The Eternals.
The Eternals. I have no interest in that. The only movie that's coming out anytime soon that I'm remotely interested in is going to probably be Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. That one I will be interested in seeing. But the rest of the stuff, dude, it's just none of it interests me.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
And this to say, to justify that statement is that here's a simple thing. If somebody out there has the free time, maybe even one of us will take a moment, find a movie on Rotten Tomatoes that has a straight male lead that the critics did not bomb. See if you can even do that. Unless he's black, in which case they might not have bombed it. Like they do not. You lose points off the score if your lead is not gay or diverse right off the bat. If he's male, points off. If he's a straight male, more points off. If he's a white straight male, more points off again. They bomb so many movies. Like if you pulled up a movie, but like how long ago was Deadpool?
2016.
Yeah. So it's been years since they've allowed like these characters into a decent score. Like they're killing it.
I don't know. I mean, some people have passes, I will say, but I mean, there are certain types of movies that have, critic-wise, has constantly been downvoted, while your viewers continuously upvote them. And those types of movies, they're sort of over here, and then all you ever hear about, though, are the ones that are pushing certain agendas. And I will say that. Those are the ones you see everybody writing an article about, everybody talking about, all the critics going out there supporting and pushing.
And it gets a free ride. It gets a free ride from the critics if it hits the check box. If you hit the check boxes, you're going to get an 80 or higher on Rotten Tomatoes, period. Even if your movie is the character shitting in a bucket. But if they check all the boxes while they're doing it, it's an 80.
Anyway, we've gone off topic again, and it's. I know you've actually got something you've got to do.
No, I got more time than I thought. Yeah, I found out it's 6, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have any other topics anyway.
Too bad. Come up with some.
Well, I'm throwing out percentages. No Time to Die, James Bond, 83%. He's heterosexual. Dune, also lead white male.
But you do know the
hetero.
story of what happens in that, right?
I'm aware of the story, but your criteria, I did a quick search, and there's 2 quick examples.
Yeah, no, I pulled up Deadpool and Deadpool 2. So I was like,
Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are...
So, I was over here.
He represents people that have been horribly burned.
Oh, you're stretching it, man.
You're saying he couldn't get a handicap tag with that skin?
I mean, the man's immortal almost. I mean,
that doesn't mean he can't get a tag, man. He's got 3rd-degree burns over every one of his body.
But
he can teleport. He can teleport.
Yeah, it's actually not burns.
They haven't given him a teleport yet.
Yeah, it's not actually burns
it's just cancer,
on his body.
Right.
It's just cancer. But...
He's representing cancer, man. He's an inclusion. But no Time to Die, when I saw it, I said, he's right. But then I thought about what the movie's really about, who they emphasize in the scenes. I'm like, and then the fact that he most definitely has time to die. Spoilers.
But it's still funny that both those films, No Time to Die and Dune, both, again, heterosexual white male leads, and people aren't interested in the films. So, again, the score, even though it meets Q's criteria of finding one, it's not something that I'm not interested in, and I'm surprised you saw No Time to Die, especially knowing the premise of it.
Didn't. I saw YouTube videos about it.
See James Bond die. I mean, it's just unless
the audience score on No Time to Die though. Did the critics not give No Time to Die over an 80 though? Like that? Well, no, wait a minute. Actually, I said the opposite. So they probably gave it a pretty good rating. I'm curious now what the rating is. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Good ratings across the board.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's one that actually has 2 satire ratings. And why didn't it do better? I don't think it actually did that well, though, did it?
Well, I mean, if you saw the movie and gave it an 88, I guess you were just not a huge James Bond fan.
You think it was the audience?
Only film that I don't know. But, I mean, the only film where James Bond dies that actually I liked was You Only Live Twice. That was actually a good film with Sean Connery. But other than that, yeah, I mean, you don't want to see James Bond die.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap this up. As always, be sure to check us out on Dicejunkies.com, where you can find links everywhere we are online. And be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell on YouTube so you get posts of all of our gaming videos and all the other stuff that gets posted up on YouTube. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.